Hi guys, I've just taken this Nikko SlammR apart for the second time because I just did a silly thing. I want to use this controller because when I bought this in the charity shop it didn't have a controller, and I have found this one works with it. But when I tried it, the wheels turned in the wrong direction. As in, when I pressed forwards, they went backwards. Not a big problem, I mean you could just try and use the controls in reverse. But what I did was I took the car apart and swapped the two motors over. So the right motor is on the left hand side now and the left motor was on the right hand side. That had the effect of turning the wheels the opposite direction and also swapping them the right way round for the way I wanted to use the controller. And it all worked. But when I was putting it back together, I was looking at these arrows and these exhaust pipes, I would guess, and I was thinking, yeah, okay, I'm trying to make it go that way, because that was the way the wheels, the tread on the tyres was facing, was going that way. But the more I looked at it, I thought, I think the wheels were on the wrong way round, or at least in my opinion, the wrong way round. Normally you have the arrow going around the top of the wheel pointing the direction you want it to go, because that spreads the water and the mud in the right direction when it digs in. But I put it all back together, looked at it and thought all I had to do was turn the wheels round. So put that wheel over there, that wheel over there, that wheel over there, that wheel over there, and then the car would be driving in the right direction for the direction of the tyres. So I've just swapped the tyres over, or the wheels over. I'm just going to swap the motors back over again so it all works the right way round. I will show you the video that I did because it took me 20 minutes, but it was, I think, a complete waste of time. I'll find out when I put it back together now. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but I wrote an R on the one that was on the right hand side as I looked at it from the back, as I now decide it is. And there'll be an L on this one to go the other way. There's the L. So I'll put them back where they were. Right there. Left there. Put the little cases back on again. I won't make you watch all this because I've done it all in the previous video, which will follow this introduction now. It's all backwards. Hi guys, got a little project in mind. Fairly simple, in fact. I want to do a bit of off-roading with a radio controlled car because I found a nice little spot. It's not rocky, it's muddy, but you may know that I've killed the steering in this one, and for that matter the steering motor. I did a temporary fix on the steering, but that made it too stiff, and that then killed that motor, and I haven't got round to mending that yet. So I'm going to use this. It's a Nikko, what's it called? SlammR. It's toy grade, and it was missing the battery pack, and I've stuck a 2S LiPo in there, which is a little bit more than it should have. I think it's only supposed to have 6 volts in there. Did I read that somewhere? Yeah, 6 volts DC it's supposed to have. And I'm sticking a little 7.5 volt LiPo in there. So that's probably going to kill the motors anyway, overpower it, especially if we get it stuck somewhere. It's toy grade, so it's not proportional. So it's going to be full speed wherever it goes. And it's one of these ones that uses tank steering. In other words, you either have that side going or that side or both, or any combination of that, including reverse. Picked it up in a charity shop, as usual, no controller to go with it. I have got a controller here which does the right sort of thing. I'll just lift it up for a second. Unfortunately, according to me, when I go forwards, that's going backwards, because I would think those tyres ought to be turning this way, forwards. I'm not sure which is supposed to be the front of it and the back of it anyway. I suppose I could watch a video, but I just go on the assumption that the arrow on top points in the direction you want it to go on the tread. That's the way you see it on tractors and that sort of thing, that the arrow's going into the ground when it's going forwards. So what I want to do is turn this one around. In fact, I'm just looking at that. Yeah, it's more complicated than that, isn't it? It's not just reverse the motors, it's actually reverse the feeds, because if I want that one to do the left-hand drive to go forwards, it's actually turning the right hand. Sounds a bit clicky in there, as if there's already a gear going. Anyway, so the plan is take it apart so we can get to the receiver, hopefully, and swap the motor leads over and reverse them. If you're wondering what these straps are for, my plan is to actually strap this piece down, because I don't want that flapping around when I'm trying to do driving with it. And that's supposed to sort of flick over and do funny things. I don't want that. I just want to go straight forward, straight backwards and spin around. Right, enough waffle. What we now need to do is see if we can actually get it apart, or at least the centre section. There's a couple of screw holes at this end, nothing here, one there, so I'm assuming here I can see there's an indentation. Under there will be the other screw. So let's have a look. That's one. That's the other. Feeling like that's loosened anything? Not really. No screw holes in there. Turn it over. One screw's dropped out. Try not to lose it. Don't think there's any more there, so let's have a look here. SlammR 90001-7A2. That's all that's written on there. Band C, 27.145 megahertz. Alright, not a lot happening there when I'm pulling on that. So the screw. I expect the sticker, the label's holding it on, holding it together. Sorry for you enthusiasts, but I think it's going to have to come apart. I suppose I'll put a knife blade up there. Yeah, that's what was stopping it coming apart. Right, now it feels like we've got movement. Just adjust there. I really want the other side off. Oh, it's coming. Feels like there's another screw somewhere holding something together. Ah, there. There is a screw in there. There we are. There's our receiver. I'll arrange it so you can see it. Some fairly decent sized wires going to the motors. If I just unscrew those motors and flip them over, that should have the effect of not only reversing the direction they're going, but also changing over the controller. Then I don't need my soldering iron at all then. It depends if they come out easily. We might be lucky, we might. Just look if I've got a felt tip pen anywhere so I can mark them. Right, so at the moment, from where we're sitting, that one's on the right and that one's on the left. Now, can I lift them out and get them out of the... Yeah, oh, they've got nice metal gears on them. green wire, that's in the way. That's the on off switch, I think. Right. Okay, so if I just turn that over, stick it in the other side. Let's do the other motor first, because that's got to slide under the wire. I don't see what's stopping them spinning round. Oh, because they're clamped in place, aren't they? That's how they stop them spinning round. Let's just give it a bit of temporary battery. Lift it up, hold them in place. That's going to get flicked everywhere. Right, so now that's going the direction I want. I press forwards and that's coming this way round. Hand's annoying, isn't it? So the only question now, which is the front and back? Well, it really doesn't matter because it will go either way up. Or will it? Oh well, that disconnected the battery. Well, we certainly have changed the direction. I don't know if I'm totally wrong or right. I'm just thinking about this now. Oh, battery's off, isn't it? If those are supposed to be exhaust pipes, I've now got it going backwards, haven't I? Still, that's what I want. Whether I'm right or wrong, I want those tyres to be digging in that way round. I don't know if this one's supposed to go on water or not. Doesn't, yeah, it's not waterproofed. Still, if I need to put it back, we can see it's easy. It's just swap those motors the other way round. So, battery's out. Kick the camera. Right, which way round did that go? That way, or that way? It's got to be that way. Camera ran out while I was whittering away then. I've no idea where it stopped. just take this one off again. Right, there's a little key sticking out there in the plastic that goes into that little slot just there on top of the motor. So that's what stops the motor spinning when it's not supposed to spin. Stops the case spinning. Right, that goes back over there. Better not forget to put the motor back, wheel back in, I suppose. Not that I intend to use it the way it was intended. So how did they go in there? Okay, and then we've got these stupid little bits of plastic to go in there as well. Got to fit them in. Can I put a couple of screws in the front to stop it all falling apart? Bet we've got to fit them in first, but we'll give it a try just wedging them in. Which way up do you think? No, we're going to have to do it with the cover off properly. See which way looks right. That doesn't look right. So it's probably the other way. Right, well, that's the way I'm going to put it in. I suppose it's important which one's yellow and which one's red. like it or not, that's the way it's going to go, I think. Yep, it's in there now. Did that screw come out or did it stay in there? I think it came out. Oh yeah, I've got the right number. Right, so that's screwed back together. Because it's possible somebody might turn the wheels around. I didn't think of that. Let's put that back in there. So I've got some power. Cover fell on the floor. So that fits in there. Do you know, I just think I've done all that and I didn't need to. It may just have been a matter of turning the wheels around the other way. How silly. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Never mind, this is going to be my front now, whether it's supposed to be or not. Yeah. That's the way I'm going to run it. And, as I was saying earlier, I'm going to put these straps on it to stop it flapping around. That strap's not so good. It's a second-hand strap because I'm so mean. I like to recycle everything. So that one's all right. That one needs replacing. Quickly on the floor where it's dark and we won't be able to see anything. That light round, make it a little bit better. So, right, oh, we're pointing the wrong way at the moment, so yeah, turn round. Okay, so I'm going that way as forwards. I'm looking at that and I think I've just spent 20 minutes doing something I didn't need to do, really. Just need to turn the wheels the other way round. Yeah, what a waste of time, Grandad. Still, there you go. If you want to turn your motors over or change the direction, just flip the motors over. You don't need to use your soldering iron at all. So that's a positive, even if I've just wasted 20 minutes. Well, there we are, back together. This is now the suffix to the prequel. Does that make any sense? At the beginning of this video, I showed you that I did it wrong. And then I've shown you the video of me doing it wrong. And now we're back at the other end, where I put it back together the way it was originally, with the motors in the original positions, but with the tyres turned round. So the arrows on the tyres point the same way as the arrow on the body. So now forwards is forwards, backwards is backwards, and left, right. And I think I might, well, I don't know whether I'm going to try it with the straps off or not. I do rather like the idea of strapping that centrepiece in place, because then I can put a camera on it and we can get a bit of onboard footage, whereas if I leave that centrepiece so it can flap around, we'll end up with the camera being dragged in the mud. Well, we probably will anyway, but yeah, that's my thought. That way up and strap that centre section in place. I expect somebody who's actually got one of these or had one of these will tell me that the tyres were the right way round anyway. But that's the way I think they should be. I'll find out when I try it on a muddy surface, won't I? So the final thing is, do I put a camera on it? If I don't lock it in place, then we do have the advantage of the wheels can flop around for going over uneven surfaces. But I'm worried about that being flipped up and over with a camera on it. If I mount the camera in one of my protective cases, then I suppose we could try it the way it was designed. I'll think about it overnight. I went for the simple option, a stick-on plate that holds the action camera in place. So that's going to sit on there. Yeah, well, we'll find out what happens, won't we? I think what I'll do is I'll put some straps in my pocket so I can strap it up if I decide it's bouncing around too much. Another thing, I'll take the screwdriver with me, so if I decide they should be the other way round and I've completely wasted my time, I can put them back again.
Hey, thanks for watching. There's plenty of videos on my main channel with more added daily, so don't forget to subscribe and enable the notifications to keep you up to date with my new releases. You can help keep my channel running by donating $1 on Patreon to buy me coffee. You can always find more information in the video description. Thanks again for watching.